What's going on, my broskiis? My name is Toadskii, back again to bring you guys yet another One Piece Treasure Cruise video, and today we're here to talk about the brand new Super Sugo Fest exclusive Snakeman Monkey D. Luffy from Film Red, of course. And this is a Super Sugo Fest that I think a lot of people are probably not going to get their hands on. I think a lot of people are going to be, investing their rainbow gems into other Sugo Fests moving forward, and I think that's a very wise decision. But in this video today, we're going to discuss, everything about the character and give my initial thoughts and opinions on using him thus far. So let's just jump into it. Let's talk about his captain ability, boosting Psi, Fighter, and Free Spirit characters by 5 times, and then boosting their attack by 5.5 in turns where you use his special ability. Now, through testing, I did find that if you activate one of your Snakeman specials, both captains will activate the 5.5 times multiplier straight away. So that's a huge benefit to the character, meaning one special launches both captains to get the bigger boost, which is fantastic. It's awesome that you don't have to use both captains specials at the same time in order to actually get both of their captains to be buffed. Very nice addition there. However, it goes on to say that if you have one of the Straw Hats on your crew or Shanks as a crewmate, it does specifically say crewmate, and if that unit as a crewmate uses their special ability, it will remove all special bind on this character and fully special charge this character special. And you can do that up to 5 times per quest and 3 times maximum per turn. This is an incredible effect, and this is like the key component of the character. When you're using this character as a captain, you do want to have those Straw Hats or Shanks as a crewmate so that you can continuously launch this character's special ability, getting multiple different buffs to be activated in a single turn. And while this is cool and all, there are inherent flaws with this. If you're up against a piece of content that will have a special limit on your crew, that can severely hinder what this Luffy tries to do. And sometimes, the enemy will react to certain attack boosts or orb boosts, and you really have to find other ways around that through support abilities or other mundane abilities that you may have to just shoehorn into the team just so that this Luffy works. Like in this instance, in this clip versus Uta, you're not allowed to use an orb boosting special on the final stage, so by having Sanji support, we're able to get an orb boost, and then activating the secondary Luffy can give us the full board of matching slots, which you guys will see in just a moment as we go through what his special ability actually does. But of course, one of the inherent flaws with this character's captain ability is he provides no health boost, no damage reduction, no healing effects, no beneficial slots, no cooldown reduction at the start of the quest for the crew. That ability by itself, just his captain ability, only provides your crew with an attack buff, the 5 to 5.5 depending on if you use the special or not, and the ability to reduce his own cooldown and his own special bind whenever one of those units uses their special. So the way that I see it is that if you are a newer player or in kind of like the mid-game area of the game, this character is probably not going to help you out that much, because I found that, especially in like, relatively difficult content like arenas and coliseums and stuff, you're gonna have the most benefits of this character if you have a wide variety of those Straw Hats or Shanks characters that you can inject into these teams, so that when you use those special abilities, you have like all those specials maxed, you have all their sockets ready to go, you have these very weird Straw Hats that maybe not a lot of people have their hands on their accounts. So you're gonna be very, very careful. And I do think that this is not gonna be a good character if you're a beginner in One Piece Treasure Cruise. So moving on to his additional abilities, when you use him as a captain, you'll get access to his super type special, and in order to activate it, you need 2 Straw Hats on your crew, or you can have 1 Shanks character on your crew. And this is confirmed. We did test this out on stream, where if you only have 1 Shanks in your crew, it will still activate the super type, which is kind of nice. And the ability itself does 120 times his attack in typeless damage to a single target, and it does go through all defensive effects and base defense. So the fact that his special itself and also the super type only is a single target is a pretty big downside. I really wish it was AoE. It would actually help out a lot. But then it also will provide with the ability of minusing 2 turns of cooldown to all of your crewmates. So it does not include Luffy. It will only count your crewmate characters. So this is kind of cool though, because you can utilize it in a way to get around special reverse, which is nice. If the enemy special reverses you can use your super type, reduce characters' cooldowns. When you use one of those Straw Hats or Shanks special, it will fully charge Luffy special. So, there's really cool things about it. I really wish that Luffy's special, when you launch it, actually gave minus cooldown as well. Just to the crew. I think that would be actually a really nice touch. But overall, I think that the super type is just okay for the character. But then we get to the meat and potatoes, which is his special ability. So 13 turn cooldown goes down to 12, I believe, with the limit break expansion. 200 times his attack in typeless damage to a single target that goes through all defensive effects and base defense. But then on initial activation, it is going to provide you a 3.25 times attack boost to your Psi, Fighter, and Free Spirit characters. So that's incredible. A 3.25 times attack is nothing to scoff at. And then says that if you launch the special and you already have an attack boost active, then he's going to give your Psi, Fighter, or Free Spirit characters a 2.75 times slot effect boost for 1 turn. And then it goes on to say that if you have an attack boost and a slot effect boost, he's going to change all your slots, including block, into matching, and also further increase your attack and slot effect boost by plus 0.25. That is incredible. All of that is amazing. So because of the fact that this character is built in such a way where you want to be launching so many special abilities of this character back to back to back, you're able to stack this relatively easily, where you can have your, 3.25 times attack, your 2.75 times slot effect boost, your full board of matching slots, but then you can also buff those attack and orb boosts to become 3.5 attack, 3 times orb boost. And then it does go on to say down the bottom of his special that if you have used this character's special ability 4 or more times during a quest, and when you initially activate it, if you don't have an attack boost, then he gives you a 2.75 times slot effect boost. Now, I didn't actually test this at the moment, but the way that I think that it works is that essentially when you launch this and you don't have an attack boost active, when you do launch it, it does already give you an attack boost as an initial launch. So the way that I think it works is that after the 4th time that you've activated the character special, you get the orb boost and the attack boost in one activation, which is honestly pretty cool. So with how powerful this special ability is, and it's no real surprise that when you launch all of these different effects, you have the slots, you have all the buffs, you have the attack and orb boost and stuff, he hits extremely hard, and in a lot of cases, just with the huge attack and the huge orb boost, that's going to be enough in a lot of cases just to get the free KO straight off the bat. So that's obviously a huge asset that this character gets access to. And the really cool thing is like you can save, like install all your specials, launch your Luffys, and then as soon as you launch any other Straw Hat, boom, both your Luffys are back up again, and you can use, the double, attack and orb boosts again in the following turn or whatever it is. Like, there's just really cool applications for this Luffy where, depending on the way that you launch your specials and the order that you launch the specials, you can just have like multiple turns of these huge buffs, and you don't always have to launch the 3 specials in one turn to get, the attack orb, the full board of slots, and, the buff of the attack and orb boost. The buffing of the attack and orb boost is just kind of extra. In a lot of cases, you just can have the initial activation, and that is going to be more than enough damage to get you through content. And, even though Luffy with his 3rd activation does give you the full board of slots, it's not necessarily a requirement. You can just have other characters that can give you those matching slots. Another instance of characters that you could use is I actually use in the final clip of this video when we get to it versus the Worst Generation Garb Challenge, is that I use the switch effect of Roger and Newgate to give me an attack and orb boost every single turn, so that when I use the special of Luffy, he automatically just buffs, whatever Roger and Whitebeard give us to 1.5 to 1.75, and he'll give us the full board of slots and stuff. So even though the attack and orb boost isn't as high as what you'd get with Luffy's activation, being able to just generate a full board of slots is just incredibly powerful. So there's different applications in the way that you could do it. You can have, a switch effect that already gives you an orb boost and you just want Luffy's attack boost. There's just really cool ways that you can use this guy in different content. One other component of the character that we haven't talked about yet is his final tap. Now, final tap is a bit controversial in a way right now, because the thing is Luffy Crew is like so powerful with his final tap. Essentially, any final tap that comes out is always going to be compared to Luffy Crew, and since Luffy Crew's release, there has been no final tap that has even come close in any sense of the imagination to what Luffy Crew has been able to do. So when we look at this final tap, which says that in order to activate it, you need to reach the final stage and you need to use his special on the final stage. And what it does is it gives himself 2,000 base attack boost and makes his normal attacks hit all characters for 1 turn. It's not the most amazing effect ever. It is really interesting, and there are niche circumstances where this type of ability is going to be very good, and I would take a bet that probably in the Kizuna coming up at the later this month, that there's going to be a boss that is, int and is going to have some mob characters where this final tap is going to be very good. And even in this circumstance here versus the Worst Generation Garp Challenge on the final stage, there's 3 enemies and you can use Luffy to just instantly kill all of them, which is really, really cool. But obviously when we compare it to Luffy Luffy crew and what they're able to do in their applications of their final tap, this does not even come close. And then unfortunately, when we take a quick look at the support ability of this Luffy, it's pretty underwhelming as it attaches to all characters and simply provides 13% of his own base stats to the character that he attaches to. Now, considering this is a Luffy character and it does attach to all units, like, yeah, this can be attached to anything, and yeah, this is a support you can just essentially run on any team. However, in my opinion, because of the fact that there are so many Luffys in the game, I would have kind of liked it if this guy had a super unique support where you would really have to go out of your way to inject it onto a team just because of his uniqueness. However, they've gone the really boring route of just providing 13% base stats, which in terms of a base stat increase is not bad considering you have so much HP, recovery, and attack from this, but base stat supports are, you know, they're everywhere. You don't really need to worry about it at all, so a little bit underwhelming in terms of the support effect for this character. But in summary, I think that this is a really powerful character, and I think that obviously this character is going to be amazing in the upcoming treasure map versus Chopper. However, I do think that this character will have a little bit of an overlap with some of the other really powerful Luffy characters that are in the game right now, and due to the way that this character is built, he really wanted to use other Straw Hats and Shanks characters to get the most out of him. And if you're in some content where you want to use Luffy crew, for example, then there's going to be that severe overlap. And even the Super Tandem Luffy had the same issue. Trying to use Luffy crew with Super Tandem Luffy just doesn't really work that well, or if it does work, it's super scuffed, and this character is just going to have the same issues. And I think honestly that's the only way to power creep Luffy crew, is to just keep releasing Luffys or other Straw Hat characters that are just better or on that same level of Luffy to provide, you know, huge damage potential. But unfortunately, if I had a choice in a Kizuna, I would probably still go out of my way to use Luffy crew's final tap just because I think it provides a little bit more to the team. But we'll wait and see what happens. Hopefully you guys enjoyed the video though. If you guys enjoyed it, make sure to go ahead, leave a like, and if you want to stay up to date with all the content I post, including more One Piece Treasure Cruise content, make sure to hit the subscribe button down below. But other than that guys, I'll see you guys within the next video.